Hello, and thanks for joining us for another episode of Plant-Based Cooking with AARP and Chef Kimberly McNair Brock. Folks, we want to remind you that AARP empowers people to choose how they live as they age. AARP is a nonpartisan 501c4 organization that has over 420,000 members in Alabama. AARP's role is to advocate for those 50 plus and their families. We're delighted to be able to continue carrying on this series that we started during COVID. It's brought us great rewards, and people are learning how to cook dishes that they never thought they would eat. Chef Kim, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Well, we're just glad that you're here with us. I have a question.
Sure.
What are we cooking today?
This is a black bean bowl.
Black bean bowl. Okay, well, I'm ready. If they are, let's go ahead and cut to what they came for, the cooking.
Awesome. So there's several components to this. So we're going to macerate some onions and peppers instead of sauteing them. So a lot of people, if you're into this, are kind of going into more raw, eating more things raw. And so, I'm always looking at different things online, and the food looks beautiful, but it's literally just raw. So, but there are different ways that you can still have food raw, but you don't have to cook it, but you can do something to it. So we're going to macerate these peppers and onions. I've got a few yellow onions in there already, and I'm just dicing up or slicing up in julienne style some yellow peppers, and you can use whatever colors you like. You can do green, red, yellow, orange, whatever you have, but a nice sweet pepper will be really good with this. Okay. And I'm going to do a little bit of red onion here. So cut that end off and just slice it julienne, just like so. Okay, I think that's good. And since I'm already cutting this ingredient, I'm going to just keep cutting it for the black beans as well. So I'm going to cut them into a small dice, however, or brunoise, okay? And so we're just going to chop up a little bit of the red onion to go in. That's good. And let's put this on over in here. And so I've also got a little bit of green onions here as well for color that we're going to add to that, okay? Now, the next part, since we're doing peppers, I'll go ahead and do this red pepper for the black beans. Just want to cut that little white membrane out, just a little bit of it. And of course, the seeds came right on out. And this pepper these onions are giving a kick. So I'm cutting it into strips, and then I'm going to go back over it and dice it up for the black beans. So you just want things of the like size, like you wouldn't want to cut a big chunk of this bell pepper to go with the beans. The beans are small, so you want to have a small dice. And the red peppers just add great color to the black beans. The black beans, of course, have been cooked. And I wanted to say about them too, even though I'm kind of jumping back and forth. I have found that I have had the best success using black beans if I'm not cooking them from a dry state, from them being in a tin or like a cardboard box like this. When I do it like for meal prep and I use those black beans, I'm always getting texts back about how delicious the black bean burger was, or the black bean bowl was, or whatever it is. These beans are just fabulous. So we've already got that kind of going, and we're going to come in now with some sea salt, and we're going to macerate these peppers and onions. So my little salt pig here. And if you want, you can add some oil to this. I'm not going to add any to it, but this, I'm just from time to time while we're cooking, I'm going to kind of go through and massage these peppers and onions. And these are really good to make and have on hand. Like if you make too much, this will definitely be too much for that salad. But I like to put them up in the fridge in a glass container. And if I'm making a salad, I can go and grab them. And they're still fairly crisp. And they put a nice crunch, and it's not raw. You know, you don't have that raw taste of an onion because they've been macerated slightly. So it's really delicious. So, all right, I'm gonna let that sit, and from time to time we'll go and give it a massage. Now, put this aside. And we're gonna start with our brown rice. So your brown rice has already been cooked and cooled. And so to this, we're just going to season it up a bit. If you want to heat up and cook your brown rice, you certainly can do that. I'm just going to add flavor to the brown rice, okay? So we're gonna start with some lime and just squeeze this through. And that's a pretty big lime, and probably about half of it, okay? And then we're gonna take some cilantro to flavor it up a bit. And have cilantro going in a couple of different things. So this is way more than we need for the rice, but I'll just chop it up so we can add some to our black beans as well. So we're kind of doing two things at once. So a lot of times you may feel like, oh, I've got so much to chop up for this, but if they have similar or the same ingredients, you can just do it all at one time and be done. So if you don't like cilantro, you can use parsley. You can really use any herb that you want. Like oregano would be good for this as well. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of this in here with the rice, stir it around. Okay. Add a little bit more to that. Make sure it's all, that lime gets through everything. And just gonna taste a little bit of this. That's good. It's got great flavor. We got some cilantro in there. So that's it. If you want, you can add a little salt. Okay, I'm gonna add our little spice blend. It's got a little granulated garlic in it and black pepper. But that's perfect. Now the rest of this cilantro we've got here, I'm gonna add this to our black beans. Okay. And that should be good unless, we want to chop more, have more in there. We definitely can do that. Stir this up a little bit. Okay. And to this, I'm going to add some lime as well as jalapeno. Because you got to have kick. It's got to have kick. All right. So we're almost halfway there, guys. So, chop up the rest of this cilantro. I just got it here. And then toss that in. Okay. Then I'm going to cut up our jalapeno. Okay. And de-seed it. Because the seeds make it hot. If you like super spicy, leave them in. But I think we're good on the seeds over here. So, and if you want, you can take the seeds out. You can add something like some cayenne pepper or add more black pepper. Just whatever your heat level is and the people that you're feeding. All right. And then you can double up on the peppers. If you want more than one jalapeno, by all means, add more. You know? So we're just going to cut this into strips, and then we're going to dice it up. Now this dice will be smaller than the other peppers. You know, people will know what to look out for when they see these on their plate. So, and then I'm just going to dice it up like I said. Okay, and I'm going to add that in to the black bean mixture. And the goal here is to really have a very flavorful black bean dish. I mean, you really want it to be the star of the show. All right, so I'm going to add some more of our spice blend: salt, pepper, granulated garlic. This is our lime here. And it's got some chili powder you want to add to it to add a little smokiness. You can definitely do that. Okay. So you've got black beans, red bell pepper, red onions, green onions, jalapenos, cilantro, and lime juice. So, taste a little bit of this. It's good and fresh. Oh, so good. And if you feel like you need to add a little sugar or something, or a little agave or a little honey, you can definitely do that. Now I'm going to take this. It's already being broken down.
Chef, can we add additional vegetables?
Yeah, like what do you have in mind? Like I would do something in the definitely like Mexican profile.
That's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm. You know, you could even add mushrooms to it if you just wanted to bulk it up or have it take on some of the other flavors. You could definitely do that. Now we're going to get started next on our herb tomatoes. And I am going to use this tomato from the farmer's market. And we're going to put a little bit of cilantro in that as well. Actually, I've got a little basil that I think I'm going to use this time. And let's cut that little core out the top. Excuse me, some pepper, something got in my nose. So we cut this tomatoes, beautiful and juicy. And we're going to cut these in a decent size. We don't want it cut really small. You want it to be kind of chunky. Okay. So we're just going to sort of rough chop this. Put this here in this bowl. Okay. And I'm going to cut a little bit more. I might just cut the whole thing up. Why not, right? Okay. And like I said, if you want, you can use different herbs. If you have some oregano, that would be nice in here. You can even do thyme or rosemary, but I would do kind of stick to the flavors that we're diving with here. A little bit of our fresh herb. And I probably will put a little bit of cilantro in here too, just because. All right. Stir that up. Get some of this liquid off of here. Add a little bit of spice to that. Stir this up. Let's get those flavors melding. And I'm going to add a little bit of this cilantro, just a few leaves, to just bring it all together. Okay. All right. And last but certainly not least, we're going to go in now with our avocado. And with avocado, you can make guacamole. If you don't have all the things to make guac or don't have time to make guac, you can just do a smeared avocado. Okay. We're going to just take the avocado out with a spoon and put it in this little bowl. We've got our lime already.
Chef, can you turn that towards the camera so people can see how easy it is to?
So yeah, I just stuck it in there like that, and it came right out. And it's clean. So, so we're going to add that there. And to this, I'm going to get a little pinch of sea salt and squeeze of lime. Okay. And then just mash. And I'm just softening this up a bit so that all the lime is incorporated into the avocado. Okay. And that's what the fork does. So, and I'm going to add a little black pepper to that too, just because. All right. All right. And then for our dressing on the recipe, so it is an ancho chili sherry vinaigrette. So that's a lot of things. But what you can do is, and follow the recipe, but you want to incorporate a little heat in here along with something sweet. And that's what the dressing does. So it's got some sherry, like from Spain, not cooking sherry. And then you have the ancho chilies. And basically with the ancho chilies, they have been taken and cooked into white wine and softened. So they used to be, I'm trying to think what they are in their green state. My mind is escaping me right now. Oh gosh.
It happens to all of us.
Yeah,
it's
long, really dark green pepper. I can't, my mind. Sorry, y'all. But anyway, that's what it starts out as. So what do you make the chili relleno with? I'm not saying that right, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm looking at the pepper right there in my face. I can't think of it. But anyway, when it dries, it gets a dark red color, and that is what you get from. You can get it from like a Mexican grocery store, a really good store that has a lot of ethnic foods. You can find it there. All right. So we are ready to plate up this bowl, guys. That was simple. You can add other components to this if you like. It's just totally up to you. But this is a pretty hearty and flavorful bowl. You could do this as a centerpiece if you're feeding a lot of people, and cut more, of course, more of these things. And then this could sort of be the the showcase of it. So first, we've got our greens here. So you just want to put down a small layer of your greens. And I hope you can see inside the bowl here. I don't know if you can or not. All right. Then you want to add your rice to this. And if you were doing this in a big platter, that was like, let's say oval, you want to kind of section things off, but you can have the lettuce down over the whole platter. So then we're just going to go in with our brown rice, or our cilantro, now it's cilantro lime brown rice. Okay. All right, and you want to go in with your black beans, which is your star of the show. And if you make your black beans the night before, of course, you know that's going to make them even better, because they'll have time to marinate and these flavors can really gel together well. Okay. You want to put down a good bit, because like I said, this is what they came for. So there is that. Then you want to go in with your macerated peppers and onions. Okay. Just have a nice little dollop of it, sort of on the side and on top of the black beans. Next, we're going to go in with our herb tomatoes. And something's just telling me I need to add some black peppers. I'm just going to add a little black pepper to this.
Chef, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I never realized you're working on a tomato end now, but on the avocados, how do you select one?
So you want, if you're ready to use it, you want to do it where it just gives a little bit, like, it's so hard to tell because you don't want to get it overripe. But I figure if you could just barely touch it, like you're not making an imprint with your thumb or your finger, because if you do, you get it home, it's probably going to be brown on the inside. So you just want to have it to just give up just a little bit. But if you're not feeling anything and it's rock hard, it'd probably be 2 days before that's ready to use. So
That's a good tip.
yeah. And I mean, sometimes I'll get quite a few and, I won't need them all at once, and they can take their time ripening. You can leave them out, or you can put them in the fridge. If you put them in the fridge, it slows it up some, but it just aren't going to be as flavorful. Okay. And then we're going to go in with our avocado. We're just going to put our herb tomatoes down. We're going to go in with our avocado on the side there. Get all of this yumminess. And, if you don't want to do the lime and avocado, you can just slice it. Put several, like, triangular slices of it down. Okay. All right. And almost last, but not least, we're going to go in with, I know we've got onions and everything, guys, but you got to have a pickle-like flavor. So these are our pickled red onions. We're just going to put a smidge of those on top in the center. And then we're going to come back through with our vinaigrette, adding that sweetness to it all, and just going to drizzle it across everything, just like that. And there you have it. This is our black bean bowl, and it has
Yummy.
Yes, it has our cilantro lime brown rice, our macerated peppers and onions, our herb tomatoes, our avocado, and of course our black beans.
Chef, that looks like something I could whip up in the kitchen.
Yes, it's
Really makes you
delicious
want
and
to,
healthy. So,
yeah, it makes you want to think about all the dishes you could make or all the dishes you can build on with this. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
once you perfect it. Well, folks, we appreciate you joining us today, and we'll see you next time on Plant Based Cooking with AARP Alabama. Bye.